Was it 2018 or 19 when hip hop became the number one genre in the world, like officially?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said officially.
Of course, but like officially because of the data from Sweden. That official.
From Sweden.
Spotify.
Yeah, from Sweden.
The Swedish data.
Yeah. Swedish data on hip hop.
But this is the
It
first
is kind
time.
of crazy that this is the first year in quite some time, especially after it being the number one genre, that there hasn't been a number one hip hop album or single. It doesn't shock me though.
I was about to say, this does not surprise me at all.
Quality music hasn't been there.
This goes back to what I've been saying for years. There's so many artists and people that can put out music now that either one don't really care about music and using hip hop as a hustle, using it as, just a lick. So of course the music is going to suffer because now you have the ecosystem is full of people that either don't really know about hip hop, don't really care about hip hop, just using it for a lick to parlay into something else that they really want to do. So you have this where now there has not been a number one album or single all year.
Also, I mean, outside of the quality of the music, I just feel like the rap records now from popular artists aren't really designed to be number one records in the world. Like, even when you get like a Drake, he does make records that are poppy to some degree. So he can be a rapper that goes number one. Kanye did it as well. Even Hove will give you the Alicia Keys New York record. Like, rappers don't really do that crossover shit very often anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dirk and Cole kinda, but that wasn't really designed for a number one record in the world. Music's just not made that way with these younger kids.
Yeah,
they don't do that.
But it's saying something when hip hop is the biggest art form in the world, and rap music being one of the biggest genres in the world, and we're halfway through the year and not one hip hop album or single. That's saying a lot.
Everybody's chasing that quick TikTok sound bites. Nobody's actually formulating a good song that people want to hear.
Well, this goes back to conversations that we had. Is social media damaging to the art form? Sorry. How damaging is social media to the art form? Because again, now people are constructing albums and songs differently because they're just trying to catch that one viral moment within the song that's going to keep looping on social medias
rather than verse, bridge, hook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why, the reach on social media has been amazing for artists, for things I think sometimes for the music, but also away from the music. If you have a big reach on social media as an artist,
brand deals,
you can make so many other, avenues of income, which is great. But now it's apparent that the music is taking a backseat and is suffering because, again, we haven't had a number one album or single all year. So, that's something to look at. That's something to pay attention to. And to me, it's scary for, the art because it's like, all right, if we don't have maybe Drake or Nicki or Cardi or, the big dogs in the genre, if they don't drop, that means we won't have a number one single or album all year.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
that's interesting to think about.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, so it's only six of you that may be able to get a number one.
And but then it kind of goes back even to that conversation we were having before where there really isn't the rap superstar in the next generation for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking through that list just in my head now. None of them make music that could go number one. Like at all, even Baby, as big as he is, he does not get into a recording booth to make a record that typically would go number one at all. Like, so it's not just the style in general isn't crafted for it. So I don't even see if it could work, even if they were bigger than Drake at the moment. Those types of songs are meant to be streamed or on YouTube, like for the kids. Those aren't number one Billboard records.
Because they're not, the art is not really, it's not designed that way. The song is not designed that way. It's not designed to be on top 100 or, all these different syndicated radio shows in rotation. Like a lot of these songs are, they're good for you to take and put on your playlist. They're good to play, in the car and things like that. But when we talk about just around the world, a lot of these records are like, it's big in the hood and on your block, but
I'm sure rap is still dominating from data, I would imagine, still. Like, just because there's not a number one album in the world or a number one single, I would still think hip-hop is still the number one genre. No?
Oh, yeah. No,
and it's probably not even close.
Yeah, but to me, that's what makes this more interesting, is that it's still, to me, still is the number one genre.
Another thing that the article details is we're losing a lot of the guys that were primed to be the next superstar at a young age. The two biggest being Juice WRLD and Pop Smoke. So
Yeah, Juice WRLD, who obviously made music that goes number one, that type of alternative rock, hip hop shit. And Pop Smoke, we clearly saw was changing his sound from just drill to some more commercial friendly music. So yeah, Pop definitely was one of them.
oh, and X.
And I mean,
Yeah,
X
yeah. Wow.
goes without saying. I'm sure would have had a couple number ones at that point.
Yo, that little Uzi song wasn't number one?
I just want to rock.
Wanna rock.
Is that a hip hop song?
So categorically, it is. I checked
yeah,
when we were on. I looked. It is. It's categorized as hip hop rap, but
And that's not number one?
That's
That's kind of crazy.
That's wild.
I would assume it was under like EDM or under dance.
Yeah, if that's not number one, then I don't know, man.
It's not a hip hop
I'm not
song, but-
surprised about it not being number one though, because I feel like a number one would be something that people would play repetitively. I feel like that's something that you
People
play
played
once.
that repetitively for sure.
so it went number one on the rap charts, but not.
Okay.
Not
Not
a full Hot
full
100.
Billboard.
Okay, but it went number one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're speaking
All right.
not just the hip
We're
hop.
talking about you Billboard Hot
Yeah.
100 of all genres.
So I'm looking up. Hypebeast had something similar to this topic, and it listed out the albums that went number one last year. Gunna's went number one. Dirk, Tyler, Pusha, Future, Kendrick. So there was a lot of rap number one albums. Then on the song side, Jack Harlow, First Class, Future and Drake, Wait For You. And Demaris, you said Nicki, the Freaky Girl went number
Super
one as well.
Freaky Girl.
Oh, yeah, I
went
can see
Not
that.
just hip hop charts, number one.
No, number one.
I can see that.
Billboard 100.
Yeah, but then if you look at everyone that dropped last year, those are the people you would assume would go number one.
Yeah.
So I think that leaves Travis Scott, the Utopia album. I don't know if that's coming this year,
Yeah.
if that's still rumored.
Mm-hmm.
Billboard also has its theories on the situation, one of which is, as a genre, hip hop is losing its dominance in terms of market share. Publication reported hip hop accounts for 26% of the music market compared to around 28% last year.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Which
Yeah,
is crazy.
The 2% I can also see because the Superstars dropped last year,
Yeah.
and we don't really have any this year unless Travis wants to drop something, or if we just get something out of fucking nowhere. But
Right.
Well, that means people aren't releasing as much hip hop as they used to, like music wise.
well, and also back to like the different type. We saw what Jack did when he did the more commercial friendly rap,
Mm-hmm.
and then this year he rapped.
Right.
That's not going to go number one,
No.
even though he's an artist that goes number one. And Future and Drake, I mean, that was a layup with the Thames sample.
100%.
Yeah, it's just a year that there hasn't been anything that good. I'm kind of shocked Ice Spice didn't get up there with Princess Diana or the Pink Panthers record. To me, I would assume that would go number one on all charts, but I guess not.
NewRoryNMal.